Alright, Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Yahweh
Yahweh
Shai,
Shai,
Bahashem,
Bahashem,
Rakah,
Rakah,
Quadash.
Kwadash.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles, better known as the Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the elect, the 1/3, the 144,000, and death to 2/3. Um, I'm the brother Yara, and I'm also here with
Ashiar, Rakah.
Khan. And it's kind of like just a post 4th of July video recap. You know, what's today, the 6th? 6th or 7th? What is it? 6th. Today's Sunday the 6th. Saturday the 6th, Salaki. So, you know, the, the 4th of July itself, a lot of stuff happens that night because it's a holiday, people are out. But the events that have followed, the earthquakes, you know, there's been a lot of even deaths, follow up, killings and murders. And these are all really just signs, natural disasters that, hey, look, this is the end, especially for America's so-called independence, which I think it was either the 1600s or
1776, I believe.
1776. Yeah, that sounds about right. So America is so you go 1776, 1876, 1976.
1976.
So it's not even 250 years old yet. Maybe barely 250 years old, but it's it's collapsing. All these things are taking place. Anyway, real quick, this is Second Ezra chapter 9 and 1. It says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the Highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before you, before thee, even from the beginning." Okay? For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Even so the times also of the Highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land, and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So, I know that was a lot to read, but it's very fluid in itself, and there's not a whole lot that needs to be said to break that down because that's very plain of what he's saying and expressing to us. Okay, what's being revealed unto Ezra. Okay, so um, this is being spoken to Ezra as though he's alive in the last days, because he is alive in the last days. We don't know who he is, but he is here and he is witnessing these things that was told to him that he was gonna see. And faith without works is dead, and that's why it says, and the Blue Letter Bible tries to downplay the Apocrypha because it talks about you have to have works. And then they try to say, but the Bible says you have to have faith. But in the same New Testament, it talks about faith and works. It talks about it in the book of Hebrews. The Lord Himself told you to have works, to be occupied till I come, to have works, because faith, and the Scripture even says in the New Testament, faith without works is dead. That's in James, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, matter of fact, let's pull it up. So,
I got you.
okay,
This is
yep, James.
2:18. We'll start straight at the point.
Okay, yep.
This is James 2:18. It says, "Yea, a man may say, Thou hast works, or thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Thou believest." That's
No,
pretty much.
you can
We're
keep
gonna keep
going.
going. Verse 19. Thou believest that there is one power, thou doest well. The devil also believeth and tremble.
Mm-hmm.
But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead?
See, but will you know, O vain man,
Empty man.
empty, temporal, or yeah, vanity, empty, that faith without works is dead. Don't you know? And why are you empty? Because there's no oil in you.
Yeah.
You can't work. You can't produce light. So you don't work. You see?
Mhm.
So when you look at verse 21, it gives us an example, which is what was being told to Esdras in the second chapter, in that second Esdras, the ninth chapter. He said, from the beginning, that all this was set up and known from the beginning, from the time in Genesis.
Mm.
Okay, can you keep reading
Yep.
that?
Verse 21. It says, was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered Isaac his son upon the altar?
Right, and you got people that have a disagreement and a gripe with that, but really at the end of the day, to hell with you.
Yeah.
Abraham did what he had to do, and he's pleasing the power that's going to save him. Even our father Abraham, okay, had to be here in these last days.
These motherfuckers, they get offended because the Most High's thoughts and ways are above ours.
Mhm.
So if he asks you to do something and you do it, are you wrong?
Right. It's like the word funny. Right? And be like, man, this dude's funny, and someone be like, what are you talking about? Like he's not even telling jokes or nothing. And you're like, well, that there's more than one definition to that word funny.
Mm.
Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
it can mean strange.
Yeah.
You know, it can mean strange. And so the problem is a lot of people believe that because the so-called white man uses a word in a simple in a certain way that it only ever means that. You know, like and that just goes to show you that he was set up as ruler in power in this time frame. Okay, so his works are are of corruption, deceit, oppression.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not of faith that he's doing them. He's doing them out of fear. You know. So anyway, here it is. You know, you had California hit with that earthquake, which we read in Second Esdras. Matter of fact, I think there's one in Matthew's too.
Yep. It's in all the Gospels actually.
Yep, Matthew's 24:7,
Hold on, I'll get it for you.
or Mark 13:8.
Which one you want?
Just grab anyone, brother. They're all good.
Let's see what Mark say. Mark 13:8.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It says I'm start at 5. Mark 13:5. It says, and Yahweh shall answered them, answering them began to say, take heed lest any man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And when ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, be ye not troubled, for such things must needs be, but the end shall not be yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places, and there shall be famines and troubles. These are the beginnings of sorrows.
Right. So you could for yourself pull up a map and look up earthquake locations.
They have an
And
app that shows all
mm-hmm.
the earthquakes that are going on at that very second.
Yep, tremors and everything, and you're gonna see it's all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they're gonna say, "Oh, it's the Pacific Rim," but yeah, they're everywhere though. Diverse places, meaning different, meaning they're not all localized or centralized. They're in different places. So, the west coast of America is different than the east coast of Russia or Australia. Okay, those are different places. Try to say, "Oh, well, it's the same centralized tectonic plate." Shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, you want to get all
Okay.
technical and all this extra shit, man.
And that's what a devil does. That's what someone who's trying to downplay a serious situation does.
Semantics.
Right. But when hell comes to their doorstep, when there's an invader in their house, or something terrible is happening to them when they're pinned in a car accident or some shit, then let's see you, semantic your way out of your torment. You know, it's not going to be so funny then. You know, that's the thing. It's always funny until it happens to you. And so the Most High, He knows who He's going to save and preserve from these times and perils to come, because those that are chosen to be saved have been chosen because they have works and faith, and their works, like the scripture says, their works do follow them.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, I'll pull that up too.
And your works is part of your trial, man. It's part of when Yahweh tests you and you prove yourself to be righteous and faithful. That's
Mm-hmm.
part of your works.
Yep. Now, this is real quick. Grab Revelations 13, 9, and 10.
Okay. This is Revelation 13 and 9. It says, "If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints."
Come on, now scroll over to chapter 14 and go to verse 12.
This is Revelation 14 and 12. It says, "Here is the patience and faith of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the faith of Yahweh Shai."
Keep going.
"And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Write, Blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them."
Boom, right there. So here's the faith and the patience of the saints, right? Now, the saints are patiently waiting. When you read 13, 9, and 10, they're waiting what? For the get back. Okay? They're waiting for the get back. And then also, here in 12, it says their patience is also in keeping the commandments and the faith. So the keeping of the commandments, that's a work, that's a duty you have to do. And the faith of Yahweh Shai. Because in the commandment, Moses told us, what is that, Deuteronomy 18, that there is going to be someone to come up, one from our brethren, okay, like unto him, that we should listen to him. So it was by faith that you would even receive Yahweh Shai, that he was that one to come with the authority of Moses. And that's what they accuse him of. Oh, this guy, you know, he wants to, you know, who does he think he is, the Most High or Moses or whatever? And Yahweh Shai would cut him and say, you know, these are these guys that desire to sit in Moses' seat, but really they can't. You know, they're not cut for that cloth.
Yeah, they're not of that ilk, man. They're not.
Right.
Abraham ain't their fathers. Because what he say? If you were of the seed of Abraham, you would have the works of Abraham.
Right. Which the works of Abraham were what?
Faith.
The works of faith.
Mm-hmm.
So your works, it says, in their works do follow them. Though these three men were in it, Noah, Job, and Daniel, they would deliver but themselves, because they had works, and their works followed them. See.
Right.
So, you know, here it is. You know, in the 4th of July, it's just as demonic as, you know, Halloween. It's just as demonic as Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because people spend $500, $2,000 alone on fireworks, man.
Man, the street was like it was foggy, but it was all fucking
smoke.
Gun smoke, man.
Yeah, right. So they torment the animals, they torment the air,
the trees.
Right, everything is under oppression because those fireworks are symbolizing, you know, cannons and gunshots, basically.
Exactly.
You know, they're trying to celebrate their so-called freedom or independence, but really, it's just an imitation of war.
That's exactly.
You know, the rockets' red glare. You know, all that bullshit. You know, they tell you. And you got people that are, you know, proud. You know, proud to be an American and whatever. Hey, look, man. If you knew what it really meant to be an American, you wouldn't be so proud about the things that it costs to be called an American. You know, you wouldn't be so proud. Like, and that's the thing. People forget, but they want you to remember 9/11. They want you to remember the 4th of July. They want you to remember the Alamo. Right, all this bullshit. Remember
Holocaust.
The Holocaust and Sandy. Remember Sandy Hook. Remember the Boston Marathon. Remember all these tragic events that take place to predominantly you Caucasians. But nobody gives a shit about what happens to us on a day-to-day basis or what happened to our ancestors. So, look, man, it's your turn to get the punishment. And you don't like it, but that's okay, because you're gonna get it anyway.
Because it's been prescribed by the Spirit of the Lord,
That's
man.
it, man. And it's visitation. It's visitation time, baby.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
you don't get visitation all the time when you're locked up. But hey, look, the Most High is like, look, it's time for visitation.
Mm-hmm.
See, so anyway, with that, we'll wrap up this portion and say shalom.
Shalom.